Today we explore the question, why are there no polar bears in London? Since the widespread introduction of vaccines, not a single polar bear sighting has been recorded in London. We're not saying it means something, but we're not saying it. As brave members of the ITA, we have a moral duty to investigate. Polar bears, as we know, are endangered. They appear on the WWE logo, which is a surefire sign of them being close to extinction. We've come to London today to put feet to the ground on this mysterious mystery. We start in the place where one would most expect to find polar bears, Iceland. It's been long pushed by people like Atten Davidborough that polar bears live in the Iceland, but our examination revealed 0 polar bears. We did find some unicorns, which dispels that myth, but that's a separate investigation. We'll throw that bone to you, CNN. According to so-called experts, polar bears love seals, so we went to find one in the hope that this might be where the polar bears were chilling. We were spotted almost immediately upon arrival, but with diligent visual inspection from a 50-metre distance, we were able to confirm that there probably weren't any polar bears inside. It seems that the royal seals which live here were not sexy enough to draw out any polar bears. We realised that perhaps us trying to find the polar bears was the wrong way of approaching the problem, and instead, we should be letting them find us. So, we scattered this bag of ice and waited in hiding. Amazingly, the polar bears did not fall for this trap. At this point, we were really at somewhat of a quandary. Were there polar bears in London? It seemed impossible, for if there were, they surely would not have been able to so effectively evade us. There was little chance that they were more intelligent than us, so we had to suppose that they had been getting lucky. If they were here, it was only a matter of time before our investigatory skills caused our paths to cross. We set out with renewed vigour, determined not to be outfoxed by these bipolar pairs. Upon a short break from our renewed vigour, we went to the Museum of Natural History to expand our minds, when we were startled to find a clever decoy. We observed this bear closely and tried the standard safe words, but were unable to coax any sort of reaction. Rasputin? Housekeeping? Red, yellow? Yellow, red? It appears to be a decoy. Upon reflection, it appears not to be very real, or at the very least, very deeply asleep. Very, very confusing. We don't know what the purpose of this decoy is, but it seems a safe bet that someone knows we're on their trail and is mocking us. We can't say for sure who is behind this, but likely suspects include Sadiq Khan, the BBC, and ULEZ, or potentially all 3. As we got back to work, we received a hot tip from someone who claimed to have seen a live polar bear. We sprinted across London to interview him.
Yeah, so I think yesterday I saw the polar bear in Regent's Park. You can go have a look if you don't believe me.
There you have it. Live testimony of a polar bear in London.
You mentioned that £500. I PayPal's fine, or if you've got cash on you, whatever.
Of course, we didn't pay him. This was about truth, not money. But the lead was explosive. We now had a location, Regent's Park. To say that this is a momentous moment would be an understatement. This is something we've been working towards all afternoon, and to finally get some encouragement is encouraging. Not ready to rest on our laurels, we set off to Regent's Park. Where the hell's Regent's Park? I'm not sure if it knows it's being watched, but viewers, you join us at a significant second. We have sighted our first polar bear, and we're going in to take a closer look. Well, viewers, we have found polar bears. Whilst smaller than we were expecting, and less bear-like, they are most definitely Arctic adjacent. These must be polar bears, and finally, to see one up close in Regent's Park, as our witness described, is indeed a resounding success. I've been Ollie for the Investigating Things Alliance, and I'll see you next time, where we ask, what are pigeons hiding?